Hello everyone, hope you all are doing great and welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we are going to be talking about alerts in SwiftUI, and SwiftUI 15 made some changes to the alert, which essentially deprecated the old way of presenting an alert, and there is a new way. So we're going to be looking at both of them. But before we start, actually I want to show you a resource that if you I don't know if you've seen, but devtechie.com has a lot of resources to learn about SwiftUI, and there are some really good practical examples in the form of video courses that you can take to learn about SwiftUI. So there are so many video courses that you can actually follow. So that's one resource that you have for you that's available, and it's not only for SwiftUI. There are some UI kit as well. So you're gonna be and we're gonna be uploading more UI kit, machine learning, and core image and stuff like that. So covering a wider variety of topics. So that's all in the pipeline. Other than that, we also have a blog which actually has a lot of detailed articles going over some of the components in SwiftUI space. So so they're these blogs, so you can actually go ahead and join the blog, basically subscribe, so whenever we post something you actually get there. But there are a lot of content that you can actually consume right now to build up your learning about SwiftUI space. So once again, go to devtechie.com and check out our video courses and check out our blog and let us know what you think. And while you are in the mode, go ahead and hit subscribe if you have not subscribed to our channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more stuff in this channel, and there's a lot of resources that you can use for your learnings. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So I want to show you how we used to do alerts in SwiftUI. So let's say we have this simple view. We have a state variable which actually shows the alert. Okay, and initially we have set it to false, and we have this VStack that has a text devtechie, and then we're gonna have a button. Okay, we're gonna choose the simplest button possible, and we're gonna say click me, which is gonna toggle the state for this alert. So we're gonna simply say show alert dot toggle, essentially changing the state, and on the change of this state we're gonna present an alert, and this alert is basically going to show a dialog. Now this is what we used to use, is presented and content, where we would actually provide a binding boolean value, and the content that we want to show, which was basically an alert, this would return a view. So let's go ahead and see how this works. This still works, by the way. If you want to use it, you can continue to use it, but for the future versions it's been marked as deprecated. That means Apple is basically gonna have a better alternate. They already have a better alternate, so they would recommend using the new version instead of using this old one. But let me go ahead and show you how you can show the alert. So you can simply say alert, and then alert takes a few things. For example, it takes a title. So let's go ahead and say, okay, I am done, for example. Okay, and yeah, you simply run this. Now okay, so let's see, alert. All right, and this, oh okay, of course this is a view. Everything should be a view. All right, okay. All right, why are you failing now? All right, I know why you're failing, because the view name is not correct. All right, let's give it a try now. Third time is a charm, and we are seeing the build going. So there we go. We have our view launching, and what I would expect to see is basically devtechie and then click me button. When I click on it, I see this alert dialog. Okay, I'm done. Is shown as a title, and we have like OK button. Now, this was the way we used to present the alerts. Okay, I'm not going to go in different variations because this is no longer going to be in use. So let's go ahead and see what it's gonna look like. So the new version excuse me, of alert is going to be simply typing alert. Then you have various different options. For example, the one that let's say it takes this title and it is presented, and then you have your action. So let's try this one. So title is basically the title for dialog. Okay, let's bind it to presented. It's presented show alert, and for the action we're gonna leave it empty, and we're gonna see how this actually looks like. Okay, so we have our same view. We're gonna click on it, and there we go. We have a title, and we have an OK. So essentially what we're doing is we are actually first declaring a state variable that'll be used to bind to the control, which is gonna be responsible or trigger the presentation of the alert. Okay, so whenever this value is true, then our alert is going to be presented. Now when user actually clicks on this button, that's when this value turns true and we actually show the alert. Okay, when user clicks on that OK button, the state for this show alert goes back to false. So it's actually toggled back to false. Okay, so that's why we are actually able to display and launch it again. Display, launch, and dismiss. Display, launch, dismiss. Okay, so that's how alerts actually work at the most basic level. Now at this point, what you see is you only see a title and an action. Okay, but if you want to provide a little bit more information about the alert, most of the time when you see the alert, it has a little bit more description to it, basically stating what that alert is all about, right, with the title. So let's say it's an error, then what kind of error it is. Okay, so for that we use something called message. Okay, so so basically you have a message, which is another parameter excuse me, and message actually is takes a view. So we can actually simply put a text, and we can say this is a message to you, and let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so now you have your button. You're gonna click on it, and there we go. We have your title for the dialog, and this is a message to you is the message for you, and you have an OK button, basically the action that you're gonna actually perform after you've seen dialog to dismiss the dialog. Okay, so that's how you can actually provide a little bit more information on your alert. Okay, so now let's talk about the actions. What kind of actions we can put in. Okay, so for the actions now, in iOS 14 you would put alert with actions were tied inside. Actions were present as different kind of buttons that you can show, cancel, OK, and stuff like that. But now that has changed because buttons have roles now. Button control itself has a role, and we can take advantage of that button controls role in order to take that same responsibility. So let's take a look how we can add our own title to the action. Okay, so for the actions, what we're going to do is we're going to create a button here. Okay, and in this button this is just our good old button, and we're gonna just say this button is gonna be I am done right, and then for the role we're gonna say it's gonna be a cancel, And again, for this buttons action, we can simply say it's empty. And now I'm going to run this, and let's see what this does to our action. So as you can see, we have like, this I am done like in the bold, and as you click on it, it actually assumes the default action, which is to toggle the show alert back to its false state and dismiss the alert. Okay, so that's basically what you're doing with one button. Now if you don't want to assume any role, like you don't have like you don't think the role is actually gonna work out and it should not be there, you just use a button without the role, and your button is going to be like displayed with just no sort of like extra attributes, for example bold. So it's just going to look like a regular okay button and stuff. Okay, now when you set cancel, you actually make it as a default a default action, right? Now you can have basically, let's say like you want to have a destructive role. Okay, and destructive role is actually something that you want to warn your user by like highlighting it with the tint color red. For that you can say you can basically set the role for that. So you can say role destructive. Okay, and let's go ahead and see like what this does to our view. So as you can see, now we have two actions. We not only have a cancel, which is our default action because it's in bold, right? We also are like the cancel, and we have this I am done. So this is like default because that's actually bold, like it's recommended, but like there is something destructive that can be done. Maybe it's a delete operation that you want to have like for your record or something. That's where you can actually use that destructive to sort of highlight that this is actually sort of like a danger kind of button. Now but let's say if you just want to have a like you don't have right now a way to control what that cancel button is going to show, right? I mean, you didn't define it, system is adding that because you have like a destructive button there. So system is adding a default button as well. Now but what if we want to add that? Okay, so let's go ahead and try that by putting another button in here, and I say okay, I'm going to set the role to be cancel for this one, and action again like empty action, and I'm going to launch this again. And now in this case, if you notice, we have like this okay. So our cancel is gone. So so basically system knows that we have a cancel role present, so it doesn't have to actually include a new or an extra button into this. Okay, now what if we remove this cancel? What if like we just say like, hey, like I want to add another button. All right, so let's see what happens when we have that scenario. So you have like your view again. I'm gonna click, and voila, you have like 3 different actions. Now notice the cancel actually goes at the bottom, the one that actually the system has added, making like it as a bold, meaning like it's a default action that they have chosen or system has actually set for you. But you have like other 2 things to do as well, like so you're showing 2 extra buttons that your user can actually perform 2 extra operations. Okay, so the role cancel, or like role cancel in this case is important. If you forget, then you're gonna have basically these buttons. So now there's one thing that's important is like you can't have 2 cancel buttons. Okay, cancel is gonna be only 1 per alert. Okay, and whatever the most recent cancel is, that's gonna be rendered on the screen. All right, so to see that, let's create two buttons. Cancel one. And cancel two. Oh, I forgot the comma. All right. Let's try this out and see how this actually makes it look. So as you can see, even though we have two cancel roles, only cancel 2, which was the most recent one, was shown in the dialog, because your system actually knows that there's going to be only one cancel, and I'm only going to set one cancel for the dialog. Now if you need extra button, just skip the role, and that should actually give you 4 buttons. But once again, the cancel is basically gonna be just one cancel button. All right, and with that we have reached the end of this video. So this was all that has changed inside the alert in SwiftUI 3 and iOS 15. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and check out devtechie.com for more resources. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you.